Hey everyone, welcome to the last update review. I am Jordan, and tonight we are tackling Spider-Man 2. We could not be doing this at a better time, as the newest movie is coming out, and that is something I didn't even realize when I suggested this topic. As well as, we got a surprise last-minute update and review, last-minute update. They released two new skins for this, as well as PS5 Pro support. Well, it already was supported on PS4 5 Pro, but there's more you can get from that. Joining me tonight, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Krissy. I am the main editor for the YouTube shorts behind Sage Temple Studios on YouTube. An honor to be back here, Jordan.
It's great to have you back. I can't wait to talk about this. This was a blast. Why don't you tell us about your history with Spider-Man?
Yeah, so again, I mentioned before, I grew up with an older brother and different parts of my family. Some of them were more DC fans, some were more Marvel fans, and let's face it, superheroes are cool. Spider-Man was awesome. And yeah, I grew up with like so many of the comics, all of the different movies. I have so many different like fighting games, and I know probably more lore about Spider-Man than I should.
Yeah, this was a blast. I feel like this kind of got snubbed a little bit in the year 2023 when it came out, but we'll get a bit into that when we talk about everything. Just a reminder that this show is about we take a game and we wait till the last update, or we try to at least. It's kind of getting a little bit more difficult lately when we're pretty sure, like, oh, they're done with this game. They're not updating that at all. Witcher 3. Uh, and then we review the product as a whole. This game did not have any, like, actual real DLC. It was just, like, minor update DLC. There's, like, no story DLC. There's no missions added or anything like that. Um, so we're able to review this product as a whole, and hopefully they are not sending any more updates.
Hopefully not. Otherwise, we might have to do another final update and review.
Yeah. Speaking of which, like, this game released in October 20th, 2023, and I can't believe it's already been almost 3 years since this came out. In my head, it was like, I just played this last year, right? Turns out, no. It's been a little bit longer than I remember. Developed by Insomniac Games and published by Sony. And just a quick reminder, we are going to talk a little bit of what happens at the beginning. I really wouldn't call it spoilers, but then we're going into the mechanics, and that's when we're going to give a review on this. And then after that, we'll give you a warning like, hey, this is true spoiler territory. And a
Yeah.
lot happens in this game.
Oh, no kidding.
But if you want absolutely nothing spoiled, I do highly recommend this game. Go get it. If you've been putting it on your to get list and you've been like wanting the promise of a superhero game, this fulfills it. I loved it. Krissy, let's get into it.
All right. I'm excited.
So, this game starts off with like probably one of the best openings I've played in a video game. The only thing mechanics wise, I'm not talking about like cinematic wise, like The Last of Us has a really great opening, but it's not
Mhm.
gameplay heavy at all. Like when it comes to gameplay, this has a good scene and great gameplay. The only thing that I could honestly compare it 2 is like 2018's God of War when you fight Boulder.
That was a cool fight. That was a good game.
That was an amazing fight. I absolutely loved it, and it this was a different type of hype where you are playing as V2 Spider-Man, Peter and Miles. Peter is just starting his brand new job at a
Hmm.
high school, and Miles happens to be in the same class as a student. When Sandman attacks, they have to leave. Shit goes down, and they give you an awesome, epic song to go with it. And you're already just zipping through the city, trying to get to the source, things going crazy.
Hmm.
This, oh, what a way to like just start your game.
Oh yeah, and I love how because that version of Peter Parker has always been a little on the awkward side, which we love him for it. We love that. And it showed so much in his thing because Miles is like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And he's like, right, Mr. Morales, is it? I totally haven't never seen you before. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, the thing with Sandman and God, I love the quips, I love the one liners. And you talked a little bit about zipping through the city. That was probably my favorite part of going through the game was the movement. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. One thing I absolutely love about this game is like, you can kind of fly in this, but in video games that you can fly, there's not uh, a rush of feeling to it. Whereas, like, you get this the momentum of a swing, and there's something about like you can be affected by gravity that changes everything. It gives you that bit of a thrill as well. And
Oh yeah.
they had it where it's super easy to swing around, but if you wanted things just slightly more realistic, you can turn it up to like, no, you must connect to a building that's actually there at the right angle. Uh, I never did that, but for the really picky people, you have that option. And I'm like, you know what? Good for them for adding that option.
Oh yeah. And um going back into the like just how cool that beginning was. Um I'll talk about it a little later when we get into some of the things because I won't deny this game had a couple of things I could pick at, but that opening was amazing and just swinging around and when they were throwing objects at you and like what am I going to hold on to here? Oh, simple. He's going to shoot his web onto a piece of debris flying overhead of him to try and get some of that propulsion forward and it's like, "Oh, that's just so cool."
Yeah, it's not just like Sandman at the same height as everyone. He's in like colossal mode.
Mhm.
The first thing you're doing is taking on a giant, and you use like throwing shit back at him, using water lines to like solidify his sand, and then like
Yeah.
using electricity to heat it up to break him down. He's just going crazy. You can tell there's something not quite right going on with the scenario, and he does a number to fucking New York City. Like,
Oh, for sure.
yeah, uh, it is like a. It's sad to say. It's almost like a terrorist attack just went down. It's bad.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was so curious as to what was going on, especially in the beginning, because just I'm excited, I'm playing, and the rumble is going off because I like to feel the rumbles. And one of the first things you hear when it's happening is Marco, what's going on? It's been years since his last thing, and it's like years. And then you're fighting and talking to him, and he's like, they won't listen to Marco, but they will listen to Sandman. And it's like, dude, what happened? No, why?
yeah. Uh, and all throughout the fight, it's like broken up into different sequences. There are parts where you fight like sand clones of him in like buildings. You're helping people not get like squished by debris. I would think building catches on fire at one point.
It
It's
does.
just it's pure chaos. And meanwhile, the principal is on the phone not knowing you're Spider-Man and is like, Mr. Parker, you need to get back to your students immediately. There's an emergency going on. And he's making up the dumbest excuses like, I forgot something in my car.
Oh,
And
wait,
oh,
sorry, I can't. There's a click. I
yeah.
can't believe I just did that.
Oh,
You really pulled the I'm going through a tunnel bad reception routine. Come on.
yeah. It yeah. And you're just like you're cringing all the way with Peter and you're like, "Oh, this poor dude can't catch a break."
But it's also like in the best way because this he does that and you cringe, you shake your head, and you're just like, yeah, classic Peter. Like I said, this version of him is such kind of like an awkward, like lovable doof, and I love it.
Yeah. Someone broke this down a long time ago. It's like Spider-Man is cool. Peter Parker is not. And
Exactly.
and 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 that's why you find the Tobey Maguire third movie so cringe cuz he's trying to be cool. Peter Parker's never supposed to be cool. That's why it's awkward. I
That
think
the Tobey Maguire dance scene, if you watch it and you mute it, it gets 10 times worse and 1,000 times funnier when there's no music playing and it's just him dancing in New York.
yeah. So you fight Sandman,
Mhm.
and then it kind of breaks down to like what the rest of the game is going to be, and we'll get to that in a moment. But let's kind of break down some of the mechanics of the game. So, like we said, I think the gameplay is amazing. Both Spider-Man move quick, they're fluid. It's what you really want. Everything looks amazing in here. You slowly gain more abilities with skill trees, and you can fill up the skill tree completely. You don't have to pick one route and just stick with it. I was able to get all the skill trees. In fact, I played this game twice, back when it was new, and then second time for review.
Love
I
it.
did I did New Game Plus. All my abilities were completely unlocked from the get go, and I just did a slightly higher difficulty, and I had a blast replaying it. But uh, the other um, big mechanic is like dodging. So Spidey
Mhm.
sense, very popular thing he has, where he just kind of senses danger. They use that in a quick dodge technique. Like you'll see a white symbol coming at you. That means whether someone close or far away, they're about to attack you. And
Mhm.
then once when it turns red, you can like dodge at that particular moment for like a boost in one of your bars for a perfect dodge or something.
Yeah.
And
The and that was so cool. I loved it. The only issue I kind of had with it was if you're fighting more than two people hand to hand, the spidey senses get just a little lost in the chaos of it. And sure, I perfect dodge one dude, but I've got two people reeling up, and I can't perfect dodge them both. So I end up getting whacked in the head.
yeah, that is kind of a interesting complaint because you can dodge them both. You just kind of got to be prepared for it to push the button twice. But you don't want to keep pressing the button all the time because uh, in some difficulties, it'll just wipe you out just by doing that. You'll get hit anyways, or you won't have an opportunity to attack. Period. And then there's one other dodge that comes way later in the game. I don't really consider this a spoiler, but it's a yellow dodge, and that's where you parry, where like a yellow symbol happens, and at that moment you press L1 and you parry a big attack.
Oh, and that just feels so good when you see it. You get ready for it, you see it coming to get ready for it, and just boom, ba 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 ba, and it's like, oh, that feels awesome.
Yeah. Also, you obviously have your web shooting abilities. You have a web bar, and you're slowly able to make that higher and higher throughout the game. Uh, and it refills over time and quickly. If you run out of webbing, you don't have to wait too long before that bar comes out, which is really nice in my opinion. They don't punish you a lot just by depleting all your webbing. And webbing is only limited in battles. When you're zipping through the city, it's totally unlimited, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then you get a focus bar, which is you get one or two things with it. You get a maximum 3 slowly through the game,
Mm-hmm.
and for each bar, you can either heal yourself or you can do a lot of damage, usually a one hit KO to another enemy. And those are really nice when you come across a really big enemy. You can also use that damage for bosses. It won't one hit KO them, but it'll do a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was playing with one of my friends, my boyfriend, and he and we kind of passed the controller back and forth a bit to get a feel for like the controls and the mechanics. And this is this is one of the things where I never actually got to play the first one. I know, heresy. But the literacy with the second one, it does give you a pretty good tutorial, but it doesn't it kind of gives you the tutorial on the assumption that, hey, you've played the first game, remember how to do this and that? There you go. And it's hard for a new person just coming into it to remember all of it. But it's still very quick to uptake. It is not hard to learn. And thankfully, right there in the pause menu is a moves list button thing. It's the moves list, and that's real nice.
Yeah. Doing this on New Game Plus, they took out all the tutorial of how to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm just like, oh, fuck, it's been a year and they're not telling me shit.
Oh no.
So it took me a bit to get to remember all the controls. But once when I had it, it was like, okay, I got this again. I'm back.
Yeah.
Let's see, where was I on? Oh yeah, and then you have gadgets.
Gadgets.
Gadgets are really good in this game. My only slight gripe, and we'll get to it in the next part of the mechanics, is like you were able to use gadgets for stealth sections, and you can't really do that in this game. There was one I absolutely loved in the first one where you would like
Mhm.
put a special thing on the wall. You could throw it or whatever, and when someone walks past it grabs them and just sucks them to the wall. They did not have that in this game,
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say that sounds awesome and unfamiliar.
it was so cool. There's a gadget similar to that, but it's really like when you're battling people and not in stealth. And that's like it grabs a bunch of people and debris and smashes them all together in the middle. It's a great way to pull in people, do damage, and like not have them spread apart.
Oh
Which,
yeah.
oh man, it's a big lifesaver. There's another one that just shoots a lot of webbing at foes.
I
Uh,
like that one.
yeah, one of my favorites, and it comes way later in the game, is the Sonic Boom ones. I absolutely enjoyed having New Game Plus and having this one unlocked.
I bet.
Uh, it sends out many grenades of sound, and it pushes people back and does a lot of damage. It's really useful for certain later enemies in the game. Won't tell you what ones. And then finally, like there's one that sends out shockwaves or shock beams, I should say, and launches people in the air.
Oh yeah, they shooting enemy, and I loved the launching in the air because there were some really cool air combos that flowed really nicely.
Yeah, if there's one thing they do cheat on, it's like when you're in the air taking on enemies, uh, gravity isn't affecting you or your enemy at all. You'll stay in the air somehow and just kind of wail on people for a while until you just knock them back to the ground. It looks really satisfying, but you're like, I don't think Spider-Man should be able to do that.
There's a point in fighting games where that happens, and you just gotta suspend your disbelief a little bit, because like truly, I'm in here in the air doing a 1 2 3 punch combo, slowly like moving us both forward in the air without touching the ground or having to jump. From an outsider's perspective, that's a break in gravity. From a fighting game perspective, it's just awesome.
Absolutely. Uh, and then, like I said, you have stealth sections. This is where, like, one of the few points I think Spider-Man 2 fails a bit to its predecessor. Stealth sections in the first game are a lot of fun for like the reasons I mentioned. You got more gadgets for that, and this one you just get a like a trapeze line that you can make out of nowhere, and you just stay above everyone, and you just kind of pick off people one by one. It's not the best.
No,
Uh,
it's fun and interesting and cool the first time. Maybe even a little bit of like teehee. I kind of feel a little like Pink Panthery right now. You know, it's ridiculous, but I the novelty wore off pretty quick, just because one stealth mission, if you're doing it right, can take like 15 minutes. I
yeah,
love a good stealth section, but there were a couple times I gave up on the stealth altogether and just started an all out brawl that would also go for like 5 10 minutes. But
yeah. I would say Batman did these parts way better. And a big portion of that is like Batman used gadgets in it. It wasn't just him getting up on way up high and picking them off. He would like throw boomerangs, and you can shoot web to slightly distract them, but it's just not the same. It, I think having gadgets during the stealth that would really boost those sections up tremendously.
yeah, one of the saving graces was every now and then you could like flick your web shooter to pink off a thing and someone would be like, "What was that?"
Yeah. Uh, and then we get the differences between Peter and Miles.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to gadgets, like you have one side of gadgets, you like press R1 and then pick one of the face buttons for a gadget, and then you have their abilities and you press R1 and then one of the face buttons for their abilities. Peter starts off with like Iron Spider abilities.
Yeah.
He has mechanical arms in the famous like Iron Spider when that Iron Man helped him build
Mm-hmm.
and everything. Uh, those four limbs just kind of just knock around enemies a lot. They're not super creative to even. I can't even remember most of them. Like I remember he just kind of launches himself at people. Uh,
One of my favorite uses of those is in the parry. Sometimes when you parry, like all four of those come out, and then it's just this like claw, like stabby attack with all of the metal limbs, and I thought that was the coolest use of them that I had seen as far as like gameplay wise.
yeah, and then you get Miles' abilities, which are
Oh,
electric based, and it makes me think that Peter got a little bit of the raw deal. I think Miles is more powerful naturally than Peter.
To be fair, though, that kind of goes in with their like origin stories and the times that they were made. Peter
Yeah.
Parker that we're used to is from a much older generation, whereas Miles is very much new. I do love the electric powers, though. That is so cool. It also kind of brought back a little bit of love. I don't talk about it terribly often because next to no one knows about this show, but it just makes me think of Static Shock.
Oh man, I, that is a show that got done really dirty. Like he was supposed to be the next DC hero, and then he just only gets a show, and then cameos in Batman Beyond a couple of times, and that's it.
I think he was in like one or two fighting games, but they just didn't. He just didn't. I guess he just didn't see the same success that they were hoping to see with him.
I actually saw a video on that not too long ago, really, and it seemed like he just got the raw deal. I think someone in the higher ups didn't like Static Shock, so they just kind of ran him into the ground, and they're like, "Yep, we're gonna forget about you."
Very likely. I think I remember something about that. But no, it just I am a sucker for a good base of electrical power sets.
Yeah,
I'm I'm a sucker for the electrical power set. I don't know what to tell you. I used I God, I forget what it's called, but Miles has this ability and I think it uses one of your full gauges where you zap someone and as you upgrade it, it like spreads out to other people.
oh yeah. And I did forget to add this in the notes. At a certain point, you can go into berserk mode with Peter, where he's just super powerful, or you can do a area effect with Miles, and it just zaps and does a lot of damage, but it's kind of instant. And
Yeah.
both of these were really fun. I enjoyed them both. I tell you by from what you're saying, you really preferred Miles over Peter mechanically.
I think mechanically and personally, I do lean more towards Miles than Peter, but it's hard to say that like because like as much as I loved playing as Miles, it was always a nice relief when I got to go play around as Peter and like play with his different sets and all the gadgets and the snarky quips. Like I love them both.
Yeah, I enjoyed Miles more at first, and then we'll get on to the spoilers. But then we'll later on, Peter gets something that I'm just like, oh, that's really fun. I really
Oh
like
yeah,
that a lot.
we can talk about that when we get there.
Yeah,
That's outside of our current turf.
but let's
Not
keep
turf
on
section.
to let's keep on to non-spoiler territory. When you're moving around the city,
Oh,
you're zipping around, and shortly after, or I think maybe even during the Sandman fight, you get the spider glider, which he has a set of wings. He has these in a lot of shows and a lot of the comics.
mhm.
They work like those gliding suits where you just almost like a parachute, but not quite. Just kind of glide through the city, and you'll slowly fall more and more, but you're getting great distance at great speeds.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite things to do with the glider suit. Um, Start up somewhere tall, really tall. Do that charge jump. Pull out the suit, and then go into a nosedive. And
Oh
just
yeah.
before you hit the ground, sling onto a building, and that downward momentum will will rocket you up and forward. You pull out that glider again, and like you said, you just see, oh, I'm like 1,200 meters away. Let me
Oh, it's
just
so satisfying. It's just people. A lot of people I've found out don't like it. They're like, I just want to swing everywhere. Then just swing everywhere.
then
But
just swing.
I I do think this was really good, especially when you're going from island to island and there's that huge water gap.
Oh
Because
yeah.
they give you wind tunnels, and once when you're in wind tunnel, you don't decrease.
Mhm.
You're staying in the wind tunnel, and it's a predetermined path, and you can get in or out anytime you like. But you're really getting lots of speed, and it just felt really good, in my opinion.
Yeah. One of the things I also found kind of funny, um, talking about like getting around and stuff using like alternatives. You can also totally walk from one end to the other and the game will let you. And the coolest thing is if you're on the ground walking around, the people of the citizens of the people of the city will see you be like, oh my god, hi. They will like wave at you. You can give them high fives. You can I think one dude posted like a selfie with me or something. It doesn't take more than like a quick button press. But it's like that's so cool. What a great way to show that like he always has been your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah. You can also scare the shit out of people too.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
you just be like having a lot of momentum and then hit the ground, and people around you and be like, ah, what? And they back off. Like they trip over themselves and everything. It's kind of funny.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. Especially it helps when you fumble up with your. I cannot tell you how many times I crashed because I either hit the wrong button, it didn't respond to me, or I was laughing at something and just got distracted, and then ooga booga, everyone is scared.
Yeah. Uh, so once when you're on the main ground and through the city, you can pull up your map and it'll show you all of the New York area you're able to explore. And there'll be tokens on the map, and these are mini
Hmm.
missions. Most of them are optional, but you probably want to do them anyways. They give you XP, and you also need tokens to special type of tokens, and in order to unlock suit and gadget abilities that upgrade your gadgets, upgrade your strength, your fighting, your health,
Hmm.
all those things slowly through time. Uh,
Yeah.
and
Plus,
oh, go ahead.
oh no, you go on. Sorry.
I was going to say, like, one of the first things that unlocks is part of Sandman has these meteorites that are controlling miniature versions of him around,
Oh,
and
his
you,
memory crystals. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and you go fight off his like minions, and then you break the crystal, and you get a telepathic message each time, and it slowly pieces together like why he was freaking
What
out
brought
and
him
shit.
here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
because again, if you remember in the beginning of this, and I brought this up to David so many times when we were playing, and it's like, what happened to Sandman? They said it's been years. They said it's been years since Marco did anything. Why today? Why now? And it's like, what happened? It sounded like he was living such a good life.
yeah, and you finally do figure out what happens, which we're not going to spoil. But this is like one of the first missions,
Yeah.
so other ones that aren't really spoilery is like someone wants you to take pictures, so you go there and you figure out what do I need to take a picture of.
I
Uh,
loved those.
yeah, and then a lot of people are communicating kind of Metal Gear style through your earpiece, uh, and they're doing it while you are playing, so you gameplay isn't interrupted. It also makes things to listen to while you're zipping around the city, which is kind of interesting. Later on, there's this interesting one that involves plant experiments.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I won't get into why, but Peter has to do these experiments with plants. You go to this like deck bench, and it gives you something to do. Like there's something out there that's helping the bees. There's like one that's you're figuring out this molecule puzzle of
Mm-hmm.
like
There's a few
making,
times you do that.
yeah, making plants and everything to help end world hunger, things of that nature. Um, uh, I don't think I can talk about too many other ones at the moment before the spoiler
Uh,
section.
oh, one other side mission we can talk about that isn't spoilers is like the random car chases or
Oh yeah,
the random like, oh my god, someone lit a building on fire and you gotta go save them.
yeah. You get random ones that will pop out through the city. They're not just pre-positioned on your map. You'll just be swinging around, and you'll see on your mini map a red triangle with an exclamation point that tells you there is a crime happening right now. If you
Yep.
want to, you can go and stop it, and you get some XP for that
And
as
some
well.
tokens, I think.
Yeah,
I
at
think it's
first.
another. Well, true. At first, you get some tokens, but it's also just a good way to, but like, if you want to make sure that, because you can go quite a while in between fight scenes, and so it's really good to help make sure that you keep up on your like on your toes, get your things up. It's like, oh, I kind of ran out of my bars in the last fight. Let me go save this thing so that I can get some of those bars back for the next big fight.
Yeah. It One of the funner ones is like stopping a car chase because uh, you're zipping through and it's a literal chase and you're dodging their bullets and then you're trying to jump on their car and like you use your amazing agility and strength to do the physically impossible and just flip their car and catch it and then just put it to a stop, and it's all ridiculousness and fun. I absolutely love this shit.
Most of the time when I stopped car chases, what happened was I would end up getting on top of the building, tossing the driver out of the car. Don't worry, he's fine at 60 miles an hour. He's just sleeping. Tying up the guys inside, and then like I don't remember which Spider-Man movie it was, but he like stops a train by making a bunch of webs on either side and using those to stop because apparently the brakes are broken or something. And it's like, oh my god, it's just like when he stopped the train. And so
Yeah,
that
those
was
moments are so much fun. So I think what we're going to do now. Oh, there was like one last one. So like the Sandman, like we said, he did a lot of damage to the city,
oh yeah.
and this part I don't really care for. I think it only happens twice, maybe three times in the game. You pull up a spider drone of all things, and it crawls in a building, and you're just trying to look for survivors that
Yeah.
not even Peter can crawl into. And like he'll send down a beacon for medical
The
units
police
to
chief,
know,
yeah.
yeah, to know
Oh,
exactly where survivors are. It's a weird moment. I don't really care for it. You get one later in the game where you're going against real bad guys and you're trying to bypass them and everything uh, to uh, uh, turn on the alarm system or whatever. It's not my favorite point, but
that's
I
fair.
think yeah.
I personally, at first, I loved those scenes. That was so cool when it's like, this building is too unstable. These things are too small for me to crawl through. I would have loved to have more of those little spider bot things. Because, yeah, you're trying to find these survivors. And one of the first ones you find, his like leg is broken. He's like, oh my God, is anyone there? And he's like, oh my God, what is that? And Peter's voice comes out and he's like, it's okay. It's me. It's Spider-Man. I've got your location tagged. Someone's going to be here to help you in a minute. Stay calm. Okay, okay, thank you. And then as you start crawling away, you can just hear him, it's okay, take a breath. Spider Man's here. You're good. Okay. Spider Man's got you. And it's just like, I love that so much. I'm a sap for the sappy moments. And it's like, give the people some comfort. Yes.
So before we move on to the final spoiler sections, what would you kind of rate this game and like keep in mind the story, but don't spoil the story at the same time. I would say this is like a solid 9.5 out of 10.
I would love to give it that kind of rating. I'm not gonna lie. It's when you're in the suits, everything looks amazing.
Yeah,
Once they take off the suits, those it's a little uncanny valley-ish, and like especially compared to how they looked in Spider-Man 1, they had so much like personality in their looks, and it's like what happened to you? But I'd still give it a good solid like 6 or 7. Like it's up there. It was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed it. The few nitpicky parts that I have really kind of hit the score a bit, but yeah, definitely a solid 7. Would play again.
that
It should say something for the fact that I 100%ed the game. So like
yeah. I I'm kind of in favor of the story they tell, and we'll get into it. But people are like, it doesn't live to the hype of Spider-Man 1. And I'm like, look, they did something really big in Spider-Man 1 that I don't think you would really want to replicate. And secondly, uh, I think yeah, I've done both stories in real life of like the when you boil it all down of like losing something, which is happens in Spider-Man 1, and then
mhm.
like what kind of sort of happens in Spider-Man 2, that theming. And also I think they did a really good job of bouncing back and forth between Peter and Miles' story. Overall, this is more a Peter story. This is more of him in the spotlight, but they still did a really, really good job with like Miles's story as well and what the issues he goes through.
I also loved that. One of my favorite things is that and I suppose I'll talk about this more when we get into spoiler territory. But I loved the way they handled because yes, it is much more it definitely feels much more of a Peter story than it does a Miles story. But I think there's like a specific reason for that. And we'll circle back to this, but I loved the story.
Yeah, so that's our non-spoilery review of Spider-Man 2. We both agree y'all should go play this game if you have not yet. We are now cutting loose and we are talking about the main plot after the first major beat of the game.
Yep, you can't be mad from here on out about spoilers because this is the spoiler section. Go play, pause this, play the game, come back.
So, we're not going to talk about every little detail, but we're going to hit like most of the main story beats.
Yeah.
And I'll just kind of go through them. And if there's anything you really want to hit on, and there's a lot, so don't feel bad if you're like, I don't really have much to say on this part. Don't worry about it because we'll probably be here for a while.
Oh yeah.
Um, Starting off, so after the big fight with
Mhm.
Sandman, we get into like what's going on in their personal lives. Peter is at
Fired.
yeah, Peter is fired. He gets fired immediately. He has to talk to Mary Jane about it, who is they've been dating for a long time now. Um, uh, and you find out that Peter has moved back into Aunt May's house, but Aunt May died in the first game. Uh, And since you said you didn't play much of like the first game, did you know that?
No, it became apparent pretty quickly on into things that that she was gone, and later on when Miles is trying to help Peter, it's you're pretty. I was pretty easily able to infer that it happened last game, and it's like, oh, Peter.
Yeah. Uh, and of course, Uncle Ben's been dead at long before.
I don't
So
mean to laugh. It's not funny, but no. Uncle Ben dying is kind of the fuse to the powder keg that begins Spider-Man's journey.
yeah. So you find out that like she was having part of a helper program in the city when she was alive called Feast. It was
Yeah,
helping homeless people. She mortgaged her house to help pay for it, and now Peter is drowning in that debt. He's about to lose his house. Uh, he's talking to Mary Jane. Mary Jane's like, she's also down on her luck with a job as well. She's trying to get back with the Daily Bugle herself. She's kind of taking over Peter's old job.
yeah.
Um,
She's and oh, you know what? That's another thing. Very minor side thing. I'm sorry to detract from it. Um, 0 out of 10. J. Jonah Jameson is not voiced by. I just lost his name. No, he is the voice of J. Jonah Jameson in like every media that has ever been, except for this one.
oh yeah, I still think this guy does a good job, and you
Oh
I
yeah,
want
he
to
does
say
a
his
real
name
good
is
job.
I want to say his name real name is James as well. Uh, I forget the James Jonah actor. Oh, J.K. Simmons. Yeah.
J.K. Simmons, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's announced that he's actually putting that character to rest. He's no longer doing him. Yeah, but
What?
he's also like he's getting up there in age. I think he's just
Yeah,
retiring as a whole. So
that's fair. He's allowed. I'm just gonna be sad. The new guy did a really good job of it, though. Very close.
yeah, I think he really brought that character to the next level in the Tobey Maguire movies way back when. I also found out he fought Sony to be like, no, he needs the flat top and the cigar. He fought Sony on that, and I'm just like, good for you, man. Good for you.
Yeah,
So
you can't change those. Anyway, continue.
getting back, so they're they're talking, and you find out Peter's trying to get Mary Jane to move in, but she doesn't. Even though they've been dating a long time, they're not quite ready. And then they get a big surprise. Uh, their longtime friend Harry shows up, and he's been just MIA, gone. They know why. He's been getting medical treatment somewhere for like a the same disease that killed his mom, but he's been very, very quiet about what the
Yeah.
treatment is, where he's been. They haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, he's being a little sketch on those details, but you also can't really blame him too much. The guy was supposedly got like, I don't know, are we allowed to say cancer or is it just the big C? I don't know anymore.
You know, I kind of saw it as cancer or something very attuned to it. I don't know why they just never said what it was, to be honest, but it's kind of whatever.
Yeah,
All you,
it's kind of whatever, but like I think he's allowed to be a little cagey on where he's been and what he's been doing and like the treatment stuff cuz a lot of people who are sick and have gotten better, they don't want to think on that part of their things. They just I'm better now. It sucked. Let's focus on the fact that I am here.
yeah. Uh, so Peter or Harry like has a surprise for Peter. He secretly bought his old bike online, and they take a stroll back to the high school, and you get a flashback of back when they were both in high school and they needed to sneak in late at night. I didn't really care for it's a little cute, but I thought it went way long for what it was. Um,
Fair. I did like the Spider-Man one. I really liked the flashback thing, but also when he was crawling through the vents and found a backpack, and he's like, "Oh, that's where that was," and it's like, "Oh, Spider-Man one reference." I didn't play the game, but I know you had to find a bunch of backpacks.
yep. Uh, and took that immediately, like, oh yeah, the backpacks. Uh, and they get through it. Harry's like, "Hey, I have a surprise for you, another surprise for you," and it shows that his dad, Norman Osborn, has basically, with his Osborn money, been building a big building science lab that is all about making the world a better place.
Yeah,
And,
like you have to admit, for as whatever you want to say about Norman Oscorp, I mean, he loves his son. And his son talked about wanting to do this foundation to help the world. And he's just like, okay, what facility could he ever need and want? Here's the best tech for it.
yeah, Norman in this series is a really complicated character. He's not the Green Goblin, or at least not yet. Uh, and he does some really shady shit in the first one, but like Harry, he does it all for his son, and he lost his wife. Like, if this man has like any really major good qualities about him, is like he does love his son, and I'd say his son brings out the best in him. But it can
Devoted
also,
family man for sure.
yeah, but it can also bring out the worst in him, like him loving
Yeah.
his, like, he will set the world on fire to save his son, and he has the ability to.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, if he thinks Harry is too cold, he'll like you said, he'll set the world on fire, bundle his son up, put him like maybe a good few feet from the flame so he doesn't get hurt, and a bag of marshmallows, and ask, "Is this warm enough for you? I can light another country if you need."
Yeah. Yeah. So this place is like really amazing. They have their own
Hmm.
particle accelerator, which turns out to be a kind of a major plot point later on. Uh, and Harry is like, "Look, man, we want you to work here." And Peter's like, "Yeah, yeah,
I want to work here too.
oh yeah, yeah." Did this place like kind of give you the vibes of the exploration place by chance?
It did, yeah. It.
Yeah. For those that don't know what we're talking about, there's this like science museum here in the town that we live in. It's like part children's museum, part science thing that I haven't been to in a long time, but it just had one of those type of vibes for sure. It's more adult eccentric, of course, but that's what it just kind of felt like to me. So, uh, he gets the job, and then we get a break from that, and we kind of didn't say this part at the beginning, but at the real beginning of the game, there's a cutscene of Craven the Hunter being stalked through the jungle by just some random guy,
Hmm.
and Craven just owns his ass.
Oh
Just,
yeah. I was there was a small part of me that was a little shocked at that, and it's like, oh, well, okay, I guess this is happening now. And then he's like, new hunting grounds. And Sandman is one of the targets on that list. And I'm like, oh, that's why Sandman went crazy.
yep. So it's Peter and Miles get a call saying the Scorpion is being transferred from the raft to another place. They want them to be around uh, for like security purposes. Just
Fair.
make sure nothing goes wrong. These are like New York's deadliest enemies. And as they do that, uh, they realize Mr. Negative, Lee Martin, is also being transported. And in the previous games, Lee Martin kills Miles's dad in
Yeah.
a big event. It wasn't like zero targeted on that guy specifically. He was just like a casualty.
Yeah. It wasn't. Lee never targeted Miles's family directly, but his actions did have a direct influence on Miles. And I thought that whole scene was so dang cool.
Yeah, and obviously Miles has problems with it, but during the transport something goes wrong, someone attacks them, and the entire raft is attacked. They're trying to
Hmm.
get all the supervillains for some reason. You can easily put two and two together, be like, it's Craven, but they're all like, why? What's going on? It turns into a big giant set piece. Uh, and in the end, they're able to set the people free, quote unquote. Uh,
Well, they managed to. Scorpion manages to get away, but Lee gets captured.
yeah, Lee gets captured. Scorpion gets away. A few others get away, but you only get vague hints of that if you just kind of pay attention later on in the scene. And
Yeah.
everything just kind of goes to hell. Um,
In a handbasket. Yep.
yeah. Uh, then we move on to like Miles sees his uncle. His uncle is the Prowler. They both know this. His uncle has given up his Prowler ways after getting out of jail, and he tells Miles, "Hey, I got tech throughout the city. Can you grab it for me so to make sure no one else puts it in the wrong hands?" You
Yeah.
one of his gadgets for doing this. Um, it
I
was an okay side missions, not my favorite.
I liked it more for the fact that, and again, this just kind of goes towards my um a little bit of fun fact lore since we're talking about Miles, his uncle, and the Prowler. In any universe where Miles Morales does not become Spider-Man, he actually
Yeah,
becomes the Prowler. And you actually kind of see that in the movie Into the Spider Verse, which this Spider-Man 2 references a lot. Which is I would hope so. It's got Miles Morales in it from the Spider Verse version. When he first meets Spider-Man in the very beginning, Spider-Man's spider senses go off and rings with Miles. Miles is at first black and purple, the Prowler colors, and then quickly switches to the red and blue as his path diverts to become Spider-Man. But Miles Morales Spider-Man can't exist without there being a Prowler, and so that role has to fall to his uncle. And I love that his uncle is just like, "Hey, I'm done with that, but I need Spider-Man to make sure that this stuff gets off the street, and there's no Spider-Man I trust more than my nephew." And it's like, family, I love it.
yeah. His plot beat is really short and sweet, but it gets the message across really easily. There's no bad blood between them. Although at first, Mile was kind of ready to be like, I knew I couldn't trust him or whatever. Turns out he was wrong, and he accepts that immediately. Uh,
You also can't really blame him. He's like, Miles is like 17, 16, 17. He's getting ready to apply for college. And he recently lost his dad, got betrayed by his uncle, had to put his uncle in jail. I think he's allowed a little bit of skepticism, but I love how quickly that goes away into being like, okay, now he's my uncle.
yeah, it's a good story.
Oh, and I
Uh,
love that his mom knows that he's Spider-Man too. Like
oh my god.
that's so good.
So it's one of those things like Peter really needs to like start trusting people more with his secret identity. Like I feel like he would have been able to keep his job if he just went, "Hey, look, I know it's my first day, but like I'm
I'm
Spider Man, okay."
Yeah,
Um,
or at least when he was given a job to work with Harry at the Emily May Foundation.
Yeah,
Tell Harry at least. He will understand. Who how what if you're there doing business, doing stuff with your friend Harry, your co-founder, and then a thing pops up and it's like, oh crap, I know we're doing stuff, but I gotta go, Spider-Man business. What do you think Harry's gonna do? He's gonna be like, well, no, I'm gonna fire. He's gonna be like, no, dude, we'll catch up.
yeah.
Like, you gotta tell people, man.
So then we get move on to another
Yes.
scene where the Craven has actually found Scorpion and he's on the hunt, and Craven catches him bare hands and just kills him.
Oh, I had to pause and I wasn't David wasn't around when I was doing this, but I've been keeping him up to date on the whole story stuff. I paused the game, stopped everything I was doing to call David, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "Craven just killed Scorpion on scene." Like, what? I was shocked.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised, but I am kind of like, oh, they didn't hold back. Like he rips off his tail with his bare hand
Mhm.
and just shoves it back into his chest.
Oh yeah. I was I was amazed. I was in shock. I was a little giddy. I'm not gonna lie, because they could have just done the safe thing and been implied that he's killing these people. Because we saw him kill some useless nobody. It's one thing to kill some random NPC out in a jungle. It's another to kill a villain on site. Like what?
Yeah, uh, it's pretty brutal, but I kind of fucking love it. And then we get to I would say one of the fan favorite mini scenes. Black Cat shows up. She's being hunted too. You're trying to find her, and when you do, you realize, oh, she has this mystical device she stole from Doctor Strange,
Mm-hmm.
of all people, and it was kind of answering a question that we did not get in the last two previous games. Is magic real in this universe? And we find out, yeah, it is. She is able to. You chase her through town, and she's able to jump through portals,
Mm-hmm.
like Doctor Strange style with this device.
Yeah, but
And
you find out it's short. It's limited distance.
well, sorta. There is a point where she goes to the fucking Arctic Circle.
I know. You're gonna say you can't go to Paris with this, but you can send me to the Arctic? What the heck?
Yeah. It and it's just one of those really fun using your webs and your glider scenes and
Oh
getting
yeah.
through. And in the end, you catch up to her, you talk sense into her, and then we get Doctor Strange without Doctor Strange. He just takes the note magically off screen and sends them a magical note saying, "Thanks for that. Peace. Bye."
Yeah, no, it's not even off screen. He's holding the thing. He's like, "Oh, this is so cool. I can't wait to make use of it." It disappears, and in his hand out of a portal comes a little note. Me and Wong are back. Thanks. Sorry. I owe you one. And it's like, does that mean we'll get to see Doctor Strange in the future?
So I have a note on what I want to see out of Spider-Man 3, but
Yeah.
let's get on a little at the end of the our full review.
All right.
Um, let's see. Then we get another side quest. This one, they pit Miles against Mysterio. Mysterio has this VR headset thing. You can tell they've been trying to like take notes from the Arkham series, and they're like, we need a section where you can do weird shit that doesn't make sense in a logical space, even if you did add magic or whatever. So they had VR amusement parks, and Miles gets to play out a fantasy of being a DJ before the program goes all weird, and he has to
Fight his way out.
Yeah, yeah, save people in a VR hellscape.
Hmm.
Something's going wrong. Um, After you get through the main one, they're like, "Well, all of our attractions are messing up. We don't know what the hell's happening."
I sorry, go on.
And this one is kind of infamous throughout the game because
They're
you
hard.
can, yeah, you can beat them. You get three difficulties if you're able to do the challenge that it says, like destroy these certain amount of enemies in this amount of time. You get like all three hero tokens, or you just get one if you're like just barely able to beat this. And some of these are hard.
Oh yeah. I will say though, I know you said it kind of feels a little like just an excuse to do something weird, but I love the way that like when you first see the Mysterium and he goes up to do the VR headset thing, what better way for someone who has the ability to like manipulate visions and your mind with illusions? What better medium is there to do something good with it than to let people live out their fantasies? I loved that up until it started malfunctioning and it's like, oh no. And like he's genuinely like, after he gets Miles out because he doesn't know he's Spider-Man, he's like, I am so sorry that this happened. We cannot open any more until we make sure are these bugs are handled. And it's like villain reformation. We love to see it. I am a
Yeah,
sap.
yeah. And as you do these missions, it, you kind of get like backstory on like what's going on, and kind of throws a red herring of like, oh, it's just Mysterio doing his old shit again. Well, it turns out it's like two of his lackeys, and they're trying to set him up for to be framed.
It's his wife and daughter.
Yes, yeah. I forgot that part.
Yeah, it's his wife and daughter wanting to frame him to embezzle like millions of dollars and get out scot free.
Yeah, and
Because
you're able to put a stop to it and like, oh, kind of clear his name. Uh,
yeah, it
but
turns out he's been like locked up in a closet, and it's like, oh my god, no!
yeah,
And it's like he is a reformed villain ish, kind of, maybe.
yep. He kind of lives on. He goes with a spiel of like, look, uh, Beck isn't a bad guy, but Mysterio kind of is, and it kind of keeps it at that. And I'm like, okay. Once when you get all that, we get onto a major plot point where like it's Harry, Pete, and MJ at Coney Island. You're kind of exploring the amusement
Hmm.
park landscape, moving bit to bit. I found it kind of boring because there is just a little too much to do, and not a lot of payoff. But what did you think of this part? Like before the big reason, like what happens in this scene?
So, before we get to the big event at Coney Island, I will admit that there was maybe a little too much to do, but I am I'm one of those players that likes the dialogue. I didn't mind how long the Coney Island scenes went with the little mini games, with the trash talking, because I love that. I love seeing the interpersonal connections. I love seeing the lore. And one of my favorite things before the big stuff happens is they're debating whether or not to go karting. They're at the little track. Some dude flips over, and Tombstone walks over and picks up the picks up
Go kart.
the go kart like it's a toy, and helps the dude to his feet. brushing him off and being like, "Are you okay? Is anything hurt? Any you able to move?" And it's just again villain reformation, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, we have him doing this. We have this villain over here doing this thing, manning this amusement ride thing." I love it. I love all of it.
I like the little detail, like when he's helping the dude out of the cart, another cartist accidentally runs into Tombstone. Tombstone doesn't even flinch. Well,
He doesn't even look over.
yeah, he doesn't acknowledge the guy or anything, and you can see the go kart bounce back a little from the hit, and Tombstone's like doesn't even fucking care.
It's like what a perfect fit to run maintenance and security for the go-karts, because oh my god, I loved that so much.
Yeah, and eh, then we get the big thing where like the hunters are back and they're trying to capture Tombstone, and they don't care who they hurt in the process.
No, they
Uh,
don't.
both Spider-Man show up. They try to save everyone, but shit goes really bad when a roller coaster falls apart. Almost everyone dies, and then out of nowhere, Harry shows up with a symbiote suit and helps save everyone. And it's then declared that like, oh, Harry has powers and he knows Peter is Spider-Man. And it wasn't like a you never told me. It was like, oh, I get it. Let's move on. Let's be partners. Uh,
I I appreciated that so much. I am. Let's face it. I love a good trope as much as the next person. But God, if Harry had turned around and been like, "You never told me you're Spider Man. We're no longer friends," I'd have just been like, "You are a tech level genius, and you're acting like a moron. Stop."
yeah,
But no, that never happened, and thank goodness.
yeah. But unfortunately, the hunters do get Tombstone. They're able to capture him, and that's comes to the next part where Harry and Harry, or Peter and Harry, uh, actually go save him.
Mhm.
And Harry's still testing out the ability of his suit. He then figures we get the hints of like the suit doesn't like high frequency noises, uh,
Yeah.
but it is also really good at almost anything else. They go into like something of a steel mill and help bust him free, uh, but the place comes crashing down in the process.
Yeah. I loved how at the end Peter's like, "That was really good." And Harry's like, "Really? I kind of felt like I was just messing up in everything I did." And Peter's just like, "You were, but in the best way. We'll get you some more practice."
Yeah, and then we get a quick little scene where like the you get a hint that the suit really likes Peter for some reason.
Oh,
Like it
yeah.
tries to grab him, and they're able to pull away, and they're like, I don't know what the fuck happened,
Hey,
but
good job back there. Really? I was pretty sure I was just messing everything up.
You were, but in the best possible way.
What do you... Hold on. Sorry. I'm still figuring out how this thing works.
Nice design.
What do you mean?
Didn't you just...
I guess I did. Would you look at that? I guess we really are spider pals now.
it, and then we get to
I think I'm gonna head back to
a
the lab.
part that I'm a little iffy on. I love the moments where you're like they pull the story back a little, and you're literally like you said, neighborhood friendly Spider-Man level type of crime goes on,
Mm-hmm.
except it's Miles. Miles helps his mom with a museum that she's trying to run. He's going into college for music, and this museum's all about music, specifically Black culture music. Uh, and you find out
Yeah.
someone's trying to steal from them, and you investigate that, and wouldn't you know it, it's the white guy that's like, "Hey, I'm investing into this museum," and then he's like, "The shit I'm trying to steal is in my family's history and everything," and you're just like, "Yeah, I don't care."
It might be, and like on the one hand, because I'm not condoning anything that that dude did. He was awful, but like I get that you felt entitled to take back this music stuff because your family had a hand in its money, but the history and the culture that they represent are so much more important than, well, I call dibs.
Yeah,
That's not that's not how culture appreciation works. I I really liked that section though, um, especially after you get it all resolved, and his mom comes over and is like, "Hey, maybe next time we do this together. Get me a little suit, some little sparkles," and he's just like, "Put that out of your mind, ma, and teach me how to dance. Come on."
yeah,
I especially loved the moments where they pulled it back from the big story to focus on the people.
yeah. And we have a few of those like in minor missions, but I don't think we have enough time to talk about those.
Probably not.
Uh, Finn, we get another kind of infamous section. They brought back you playing as MJ moments. They changed it up though. You're still sneaking around, but this time you have a weapon with you. You get a really powerful taser. Uh,
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah, like this taser is comically powerful. We're like you're punching these guys right and left, and they take a while to go down as Spider-Man. With her, you just go up to them, you tase them, they're down in 2 seconds.
Yeah, no, it kind of reminded me a little bit of. I know you talked about this game before, but it kind of reminds me of The Last of Us a little bit.
Yeah,
But also, me and some other people were making the joke of like, if MJ and this taser are so strong, who needs a Spider Man? Just send in
dude,
MJ.
dude, that yeah, like she is ridiculously powerful with this thing. I was able to like not sneak around a whole lot and just like, oh, okay, there's my opportunity. Run at him, go, zap down. And she's investigating like what's going on with every all
Dr.
the
Connors.
yeah, Dr. Connors. He showed up. He gets kidnapped. He's a big reason of like the suit and everything. Um, and they try to find him. Uh, MJ does kind of ask for help at a certain point. She's like, I'm in over my head. And they finally show up at the last minute. There's a showdown with Craven. Craven owns Spider Man. Like, he owns Pete
Oh,
really well.
yeah.
Yeah, he gets a big ass knife just jabbed into his ribs, and he's dying. And the suit moves over to Harry. Peter gets revived just as he was dying. The suit heals him. It won't go back to Harry. They try to figure out what's going on, but they can't, and they have to split. And Peter has to continue the search for Doc Connors.
Yeah, but where does that leave? I was so scared when that happened because it's like, no, that's a thing healing Harry. What's going to happen to Harry?
Yeah, and Harry seems to be fine at the moment, but it is definitely an issue. Um, and meanwhile, you're like, okay, Black Spider-Man time. Like anyone who's been a Spider-Man fan for a certain length of time, you understand like what's going on. Uh, this is where he gets new powers. He kind of gets slowly becomes an edge lord.
No kidding. Starts ignoring Miles's calls.
Yeah, and he goes on the hunt uh, for Doc. Like I said, that they find a lot of hunters at a big mansion. Yeah, they do a stealth section where Peter's pretending to be a waiter and just kind of going through area to area until they find out, oh, Craven isn't here, but he has a pet tiger.
I thought
And
that was really cool.
yeah, they keep talking like this pet tiger, like he's a big boss or anything, and you're like, no, he's a tiger, and he's hungry, and you basically drug his food, and the tiger falls asleep while he goes snooping around, and you find out Craven is dying. Um,
Yeah.
you also find out Craven is using special potions to make him freakishly strong as well. You find he's not just a barbarian type; he's actually well read and everything. He's an intellectual as well. It's really interesting just kind of going through this study and like, oh, you get hints that he's Catholic despite him killing everyone. Um, it's kind of an interesting reveal and like, oh, he's not just hunting; he's hunting for a purpose to him, and it's all coming to an end as well.
Yeah, you also learn that he kind of has a family, and it's not a good dynamic.
No,
That is not a good family dynamic.
so moving on from that, we get uh, a two scenes. They're still trying to get the suit off Peter. They got what they need to cure Doc Connors, but they need to be able to uh, do something with it. So that giant particle accelerator that's able to help, but Peter needs to crawl into it and fix a few things. He does so, and you're just kind of dodging giant electrical beams as you do all that. It's not really interesting scene. Then you get one where like Miles goes to his dad's grave. It's a sweet moment, but overall, I just like, this kind of meh. It felt just slight padding to me. I don't have much to say on this. I do you?
Um, as honestly, I kind of resonated with that quite a bit, actually,
Oh
because,
yeah,
well, for one, Harry's feeling neglected, Miles is feeling neglected, and they're able to talk at least a little bit. And I know that I have a little necklace that has a very small amount of my grandparents' ashes in there.
oh yeah,
And whenever I'm feeling if I'm ever feeling too homesick and it starts to overwhelm me a little bit, it actually helps to have the necklace on or around me and like just try and think on what would they what would they do, what would they say. And so I actually kind of resonated with this part, uh, probably a little too close to home, but it also goes again to show that like just how much of an impact his dad had on Miles, on who he is as a person and who he wants to be as a man.
yeah, yeah. We definitely get clear factors like him and his dad were really close and everything, and it's a sweet moment. It's just comparatively to the story is just
Compared to the story, yeah, I can see how it's a little but
yeah.
again, I liked the smaller, softer moments, the slower. It helped. It's the same reason in regular music why it kind of slows down a little bit. That way, when the energy starts ramping up again, you get ready for that beat drop. That's why it hits as hard as it does, because you've been allowed that moment to breathe and slow it down.
Yeah. Uh, then we get a big set scene where Peters and Miles take on the lizard. They're hunting him while the hunters hunt the lizard as well. It turns into
Mm-hmm.
a giant set piece where it includes like chasing the lizard through the river. He's grown. He's monstrous. He's really fast now. You're saving people from being like,
Well, Miles is saving
yeah,
people.
yeah. Miles is saving people while Peter is like too focused on everything. You can really see the anger the suit is having on him start to seep through,
Oh
and
yeah, this is when it really kind of starts to hit in that things are not right because Miles is over here doing the Spider-Man thing, saving everything and saving as many people as he can. And Peter Parker is over here on a very aggressive walk with his very violent dog,
yeah,
tearing up New York.
yes. And then we get like a break between like before Peter and Miles split up. That feels almost Saturday morning cartoon cheesy, where Miles like he doesn't act that way at all. Something's wrong. It's just almost a little too on the nose, in my opinion. But I, I don't see much of a way to work around it either. But uh,
I kind of forgive it because that's kind of classic Spider-Man.
yeah. Um, but then Peter's tracks down the lizard, and then they have a really big boss fight. I'd say this is like the area of the game where the difficulty spikes up quite a bit. For one thing, you get multiple fight sequences with this
Hmm.
the lizard. It's not just knock down his health bar once. You got to knock it down like two or three times, and it the scenery changes each time. Uh, Shit gets pretty brutal in here before they're finally able to like overpower him and change him back to normal. But
Yeah,
it,
and
go ahead.
sorry, I the fight was really cool. It went a little long for my taste. So much of this game takes so long to get through, but I also think it kind of needed that in this case because again, they're if you thought Sandman tore up New York, oh my god, the lizard.
Yeah. Oh man, like New York is having a bad day and it's about to get even fucking worse. Like
Mhm.
it literally makes you go, I'm surprised New York City is still populated after all the shit that goes down. Like when Spider-Man is having a bad day, New York has a horrible
Oh yeah, no for sure.
time. uh Looking through my notes. Oh yeah, so the fight finally ends. Peter slinks home. He's exhausted. Mary Jane's like, "Hey, I got my story for the Bugle. You want to read it?" And he's like, "Nah, maybe later. I'm just tired." He falls asleep, and then the suit kind of comes to life on his own and uses Peter as a puppet as he goes on a rampage as the hunters tracked down Peter. You're playing as MJ again, doing your stealthy shit, taking down people as you go.
Which again, at this point, why rely on Spider-Man at all? If you'd have had MJ and her taser come up with the lizard, done.
Dude, it's insane that they haven't incorporated that technology into their Spidey suits. It's so dumb.
But yeah, no, I was kind of more worried about Aunt May's house actually when the hunters showed up and Peter is gone, and I'm like, no, they're gonna wreck the house.
Oh yeah.
And then after we got out of the house, it's like, okay, now where's Peter?
Yep. So you track him down, and you get a confrontation with with Pete, and then you realize like Pete is totally not himself. Miles has to come and basically fight him, and uh, then it goes back and forth again between him and MJ, and it somehow goes all the way down to the tunnels of New York. They travel quite a distance,
Oh
and
yeah.
and after that huge ordeal, We get a brief cut scene. You see, it's like the morning after. Harry, MJ, go see Harry. Uh, Harry's dying again, and he's not taking it well. He needs the suit. He's getting angry. You can also get a hint of like withdrawal syndrome because Harry's had this thing on for years in a tank, and you get the sense that like he needs it more than just the powers and the healing. Like there's this weird belonging he needs. He needs it. He's
Oh yeah.
addicted to it.
And it even shows a couple times when he and Harry or when he and Peter talk and he's like, "Man, I feel so energized. This is amazing." Yeah, the suit's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
And it's like, "Ooh, that is some passive aggressive stuff," and you can't blame Harry for it. Peter is not. He's getting snappy. He saw MJ's story where she kind of trashes Spider-Man a little bit for again taking his violent dog on a very violent walk,
yep.
and just I really thought that was going to be the turning point where Harry goes, "No, I hate all of this," and turn into like the Hobgoblin or something. That
Oh,
never
really?
happened though.
Yeah,
I thought that was where, because I know there are numerous iterations where Harry becomes the Hobgoblin in one way or another, following his dad in as the Green Goblin.
yeah. Um, and we kind of forgot to mention in the chaos of trying to save Peter from the suit and everything going wild, Miles gets captured by the hunters in the progress, and that's kind of where we move on to the next scene.
Hey there, big man. Man, it feels good to see you. Lots changed since I left. You became a whole hero.
I couldn't save you. Or Finn. If Spider-Man can't protect everyone, who will?
Come on now. You're more than just Spider-Man. You can try and hide behind that mask, but I know who you are. And what you stand for. I've been watching you,
You have?
and it hurts.
Miles wakes up in a jail cell, sort of. He escapes from it and goes through another stronghold. And near the end, he gets a gladiatorial entrance where, like, all the hunters are chanting for him and everything, and he's confused and he walks around and sees in an arena
Mm-hmm.
there's Lee in the middle.
Yeah.
And Craven makes them fight. And it's a really fun boss fight. Miles versus Mr. Negative. I really like the mechanics of this fight. He uses a lot of quick distance attacks, and you're trying to dodge them and trying to get in and get in really good combos and whatever. And just when you think you've about won, he pulls you into Miles's mind, and he tries to like win psychologically.
Yeah. That was a really like cool and intense scene.
Yeah, because you get like Miles's hatred for Lee and everything. Miles kind of wants to kill him, and there's been a kind of a back and forth of like Miles keeps going, he's still out there. I need to bring him to justice, and everyone's like, "You're not going to kill him, are you?" And we kind of get that sort of answered when he pulls him into his mind, and this is like almost Scarecrow like sequence from Batman of like going into your own psyche, having someone manipulate it. Lee takes the form of a giant monster where you're trying to track down in this strange abyss version of New York City where there's like no ground and everything's just floating around and shit. And then like the deeper he goes into his memories, the more he finds out, like, okay, your name is Miles and everything. And then Lee gets a gut punch when he finds out, oh, I killed your dad on accident when I was taking my revenge on Osborn. And
Yeah.
that was that was a shocker to him, but he still tries to manipulate Miles because he doesn't want to die, and uh he makes him see his dad at one point, and he's like, yeah, you're kind of a complete failure and everything. Like, I didn't raise a son to be a loser or anything. You're just like, god damn, man, what a low blow. What did you think of, like, this scenario?
I I loved it. That was intense, and I was so scared because I'm like, come on, Miles. I know you're upset. I know you're sad and hurting, but you're better than this. And yeah, he is. And I loved how he like draws him in close because after like glass breaks up near the top, he's like, after you get out, find Spider-Man. What?
Yeah.
And he fucking kicks him up and out, and he's immediately like, oh, I get it. I'm gone.
Yeah, he gives him a chance because I think that they make it where, like, Miles could escape, but Lee has a better chance, and he holds him back and everything. Uh, so all that fucking happens. He makes a bolt for it. Uh, Lee gets Spider Man's attention, uh, and Peter is like really kind of like, I can't believe this fucking loser got himself caught. Like, now I have to go save him. What the fuck? Everyone has to rely on me. Me. Like, oh, it's one of those, like, the the cringeness of Peter whenever he puts on the black suit. It's in full force here. Uh, you can definitely tell, like, it has corrupted him. Things aren't going, everyone's way. Everyone's like, you need to take the suit off somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes rescue Miles, and he gets, even his mom is worried, and Peter is really rude to her. It's just a giant fucking mess. Um, and then we get a big showdown between uh, Black Suit Spidey and Craven.
Yeah. No, and I loved the way that he got Spider-Man's attention. But yeah, that fight between Spider-Man and Craven though, that was hype. I was
Yeah,
so excited.
when Craven saw the potential of, like, the new Black Suit Spidey, he, like, Craven's focus was straight onto Spider-Man, which I find really funny because, like, Craven's been kind of ignoring Spider-Man this entire time, and you would think, like, no, of course Craven's going to go after Spider-Man. He's the one who's captured all these villains multiple times. He's clearly the superior one. And Craven's like, nah, he's not. But something about the suit makes him go, oh yes, that I must hunt. I must hunt
Yeah.
the Black Spider. Uh, and they have an awesome showdown. Craven uses a giant bell because he's figured out, like, oh, that suit doesn't like high frequency, so you're using that, and you
Mhm.
go back and forth. Once when you finally beat the crap out of Craven, though, you don't kill him or anything. He just kind of,
Oh,
uh,
he's about to. The only
yeah,
reason he doesn't is because Miles steps in.
yeah. Miles steps in, and um, and then it's Miles versus Black Spidey, and you're just like, oh, this is so much fun. This is one of the funnest fights in the entire game.
Oh, for absolute certain, that fight was awesome. And like the way you free the bell was when he like shoots a thing at you. Oh, this
Yeah,
is one of the things I loved the most. I laughed so hard. I died in a fight way early on in the game because some dude threw a rocket launcher at me and I reacted, grabbed the rocket launcher or grabbed the rocket that was flying at me and threw it back at him. I laughed so hard at that I died because I wasn't fighting anymore. And you do that again to Spider-Man at the bell, and it's like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, this time you try to use the bell as often as you can, but he uses it up whenever he has a chance and make sure you just don't abuse that ability. It's a long back and forth. Um, Finally, you're able to like win and get the suit off of Peter, and you capture the suit in a container, and you're like, okay, so we got the suit off. Clearly, it's evil. Do we give it back to Harry? Like, what the fuck do we do with this? Um,
It's like Dr. Connors first and foremost.
yeah, they go to Doc Connors, uh, and shit goes down. The suit is able to escape. It gets back onto Harry, and then Harry fully turns
So
into Venom.
So even before that, though, something else I want to bring up, and I do apologize. It's kind of a side content thing that I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
The 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 Order of the Flame.
Oh right, yeah. I totally forgot to put those guys in the notes.
Now that was such a cool side mission because I didn't know her because I guess she was in the first one, but they gave you enough context clues to know she used to be a cop. Some shit went down. She is no longer a cop and is instead Wraith.
Yeah, the Wraith.
The Wraith, and I loved how the container that he was holding that held at least his part of the symbiote, because there's more than one symbiote around.
Yeah.
He's like at the end after he thoroughly trounces Spider-Man and the Wraith. He's like, and all you'll see in your future is blood, fire, and rampage. And he goes off, and I'm like, oh my god,
No, he says
like
Carnage.
Carnage. Yeah, fire, blood, fire, and carnage. Thank you. I couldn't remember, and I'm like, oh my god, we're getting Carnage next game. Ah,
Yeah.
I had to like take. I've wanted to shake someone's shoulder so bad to just be like, oh my god, that's a Carnage thing. We're gonna get him.
Whereas, like, almost every version of Venom, he almost always turns into an anti hero at the end. He's a villain at the beginning, but he kind of turns good. Carnage is always almost hosted by a psychopath.
Oh yeah.
And he is clearly like the evil symbiote one by far. And yeah, like I said, or like you said, there's this cult. They believe in burning everything to the ground. Someone who trusted Spider-Man in the first game goes rogue because of tragic event, makes her become a anti-hero villain, or anti-hero hero, more hero than villain, but she crosses a line. She doesn't mind killing. She has a chain and a sickle as a weapon. I don't know how she gets so powerful though. Just chalking it up to hero bullshit, I guess. And you hunt down through them through missions, and at the end you realize this guy was after the symbiote. He gets it. He goes away. And there's not a whole lot much to say on it. They're fun missions, but the payoff on the end is like, we're getting Carnage the next game. They better hold us to it, or we might get Carnage in the upcoming Venom game if that's real.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because we hadn't brought it up in the notes yet, and that got me really excited for future villain.
All right, so let's see where on my notes we are. Oh yes, the Pit of Despair.
The Pit of Despair.
So Harry has become Venom, and then we get something I wasn't expecting the first time I played this. We get to play as Venom. And
We do.
yeah, it's okay. it's a taste of it. I do think the segment of this goes a little too long. You only get two abilities that are kind of like area of effect attacks that just wipe out area people. You're trying to escape Oscorp as Osborn's very well armed security tried to take you down. Then the hunters find you. They're trying to take you down. And then it's the showdown we were not expecting. It's Kraven versus Venom. And it's kind of a tough fight. Kraven takes a bit of a while. Like he has a lot of health to him. Uh, but in the end, you win as Venom, and you do something I wasn't expecting. You kill Kraven. And you don't just kill him; you take a bite out of his chest.
Yeah, no, that was insane. You don't bite his chest. You bite his head.
Uh, I maybe I was looking at it wrong. I could have sworn it was his chest.
No, it's his head because then his necklace falls to the ground because there's no more neck to keep it up.
Oh, okay.
And that had me shook. I had to pause and take a moment.
Yeah. I could have sworn it was his chest because I swore I saw his head still attached.
Mm-mm.
But maybe
We never get to see his after he gets picked up and is said and says thank you.
yeah.
The mouth opens. It goes down to like their feet. We hear a crunch, and his necklace falls to the ground.
Craven
And
says
Cra-
thank you.
Yeah, Craven says thank you, and then Harry Venom bites his head.
Yeah. Craven's been seeking what he would consider an honorable death. He doesn't want to die in a deathbed. He wants to go out in a blaze of glory. He wants someone to beat him at his own hunt. That's what he's been seeking this entire time.
Yeah.
Uh, and there's cool dialogue in that fight scene about it. He's like, Venom's like, why don't you, if you want death so badly, just let it happen. And he's like, no, it must be earned. I must go out with everything I fucking got.
We are your son. Look at us. We are healthy, strong. This is what you want, isn't it?
Stop, Harry! We can help you!
So that happens. It shakes up Harry at like what just happened. He goes into a hallucination where he's talking to his mom's grave, and we then get to see like hints of a meteorite that the Venom came from, and his plan is to basically symbiote the world, and it's all just a giant hallucination, though. But it's just a giant like foreshadowing of like
Yeah,
what's to
together
come.
we will heal the world. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, thank you. Check, please.
Yep. And that brings us to the next scene where Harry is starting to take over people, turning them into symbiotes, or, well, having a symbiote control people. It's like a weird zombie monster narrative. He
Yeah.
makes Nest out of himself, so he can like mass produce these symbiotes. They're having a hard time fighting everything, and then Venom goes straight to Aunt May's house and then corrupts Mary Jane into one of the. I didn't see this one coming at all. This surprised me. We get a symbiote named Scream, which I am vaguely familiar with. I looked up their backstory after I played this the first time, and I was like, okay, I thought so. Mary Jane wasn't originally Scream, but
Mhm.
it works so well for this character
It really
because
does.
like Mary Jane's known for her like red hair and everything, and
Mhm.
this version uses her own wicked hair as a
Weapon.
weapon. Yeah,
I know, that was so cool.
and it was like, man, this is a better version of like Scream than like her original narrative, which is so complicated. Doesn't involve Mary Jane at all. I'm not even going to explain it, but it turns into another awesome epic boss fight. I love this fight. You're Peter versus Mary Jane, and they're kind of talking through their problems as they're fighting each other. It's kind of hilarious in a way. I'm like, oh, this is the best relationship therapy I've ever seen.
I know. I love them so much. They're so wholesome.
Yeah. Uh, be, and like the suit will lie to you, but it'll also like bring out some of your deepest, darkest feelings as well, and you're not sure like what are lies and like what's actually been holding you back the entire time. So they keep going back and forth. You're finally able to uh, free MJ, and then like we get a scene where Peter and Miles are fighting the symbiotes. That they pile on top of Peter and they try to take him over once more. He has the suit back on him. Mr. Negative shows up, and him and Miles team up together to go in his psyche to try and save him. We get all the greatest hits, minus Uncle Ben for some reason. Um, but we see
Yeah.
a lot of what Peter has been going through, mostly in the last games. We get to see Aunt May's death again. Um, and in the end, it turns into like Mr. Negative. It's implied he uses all of his powers to save Peter, but we're
Hmm.
not fully sure.
So I don't think he gave up his powers, but he definitely gave like a good portion of them to Peter. I thought that a whole thing with with Miles and Mr. Negative was amazing and so mature because he just looks at him. He's like, "Listen, I can't forgive you, man. I don't have it in me." And it's like that is valid, that is fair, and something a lot of people don't understand is you can forgive a person, but that doesn't mean you have to like them. That doesn't mean you have to accept what they did. You can still hate everything about them and their thing. I forgive you for what you've done, but that does not give you any sort of absolution or closure. That was so to be big enough to say I don't have it in me to forgive you, but I am just gonna we are both just gonna move past this. Like that was so mature of him. I loved that so much.
Yeah, this was a big breakthrough moment for like Miles. This is like also Miles' last big moment. I would say, other than I would say he's like his last character moment in the game. You still play as him, but like when it comes to development, like this is kind of his apex and everything. Uh, so after all that, like Mr. Negative's powers warps the suit into anti venom, and anti venom is awesome. You get some really cool moves with this suit. I
Oh
absolutely
yeah.
yeah. So like I said earlier, you have the mechanical arms. Well, all that's changed with anti venom suit materials, where you can like become a giant blob and just do a bunch of wrecking ball shit and do area of effects that just look really cool. They also really help out, and they also try after this get a good sonic blast, or maybe before this, a moment where they combine their weapons to make a giant sonic grenade. Since the symbiotes are weak to that, you clear out all the nests before you get a big showdown between uh, both Spider-Man and Venom.
Mm-hmm.
And well, actually, before that, we kind of forgot to mention Genki, because
Yeah.
Miles' mom and Genki, Miles is like best friend that is like super good with computers and sort of helps them on the side. They're trapped in the subway. They get help before they're like turned into symbiotes too, along with like Haley, Miles' soon to be girlfriend, who's also deaf. She has a cool moment where you play as her for like a brief mini side mission where you're like turning ugly graffiti into good graffiti. Her thing is being an
That was a
artist.
that was a fun little moment. I liked that.
That was interesting because she's deaf and you can't hear a thing. Like, at most, things are muffled around you.
I loved that section so much that the world muffled itself. Because what people need to understand, especially about like the deaf and the blind, it's not lights on, lights off. It really is like a spectrum. There are some people who are blind that can see a little bit, and like if that's the way that Haley experiences the world, then it's not that she can't hear anything, but it's that everything is like 2 miles underwater.
Yeah.
Like everything was so that the distant car alarms were barely there. The world was just this quiet muff, and I loved it so much because it's like, yes, that's what deafness is to some people. It's not plug my ears, la la la, I can't hear you.
Yeah. One thing in particular, like, it gave off that vibe, like, anything she's hearing is really like the vibrations going into her body, sort of the deal.
Yeah, there's a. I don't mean to detract too much. There is a movie. I think it's called like the shape of voice or the sound of voice or something like that. And something really cool that they do when they focus on her, because one of the main leads is deaf,
Yeah.
and whenever it focuses on her, you'll actually there's still piano music playing. The piano is very prevalent throughout all of it, but the recording mic had been moved so that you hear the thumps more than the actual music playing. So they're more like the thump of the keys hitting the notes to emphasize that fact. And it's just so cool what media has been doing to show like that kind of inclusion and information.
Real cool moment. So let's finish off this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get the big showdown between Venom and Miles and Peter, and it kind of swaps off from character to character.
Hmm.
They're trying to get the meteorite that they grabbed in this process with Mary Jane's help into the particle accelerator and try and destroy it. It's a
Yeah.
huge back and forth. Uh, Venom tries to keep grabbing it. They ward him off. Venom's able to grow wings in his
That
fury.
was so cool.
I was like, I didn't know he could do that. That's cheating, but it makes him look like a sick demon. It's really cool looking. Um, he takes a long time to go down, but
Yeah.
when he finally does, the suit's pretty much destroyed. Harry's saved, sorta, but he gets put into a coma. Uh, and like Norman is distraught. He is pissed.
Oh, yeah. And on the one hand, I understand where Norman's coming from with him being just absolutely pissed off and beside himself. But on the other hand, after Dr. Connors is like, listen, you can't save him. There's nothing left. You have to kill him. he comes up and says, "Just save my boy, bring him back."
Yeah.
He might not be in the best health right now, but he is alive, motherfucker. What do you want?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And in his distraughtness, he goes to an ex villain or a still villain for help. That's still captured and didn't die in the hunts. He goes to Doc Ock. He's like, "I need you to save my son." And we're like, oh, "Okay, we're getting Doc Ock back."
I don't think we are, though, because when he's like, "Why does this matter to you so much?" Because no, he's wanting like information on the Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Well, no, he knows who the Spider-Men are, I think. But he's like wanting this kind of information, and Doc is just like, "Why? They ruined my son." Good.
yeah.
Sometimes you need to learn the world isn't kind. And it's like, ouch.
But I think that's their way of saying he's gonna come back. Uh,
That'd be neat. I don't think they are, though, because Dr. Octavia was definitely more of like a Peter focused villain. And
which brings us to our next point. So, like in the aftermath of everything, those plant things I told you about, where that Peter was doing experiments on the side
yeah,
missions, he tries to turn that into its own job, uh, and by doing so, he has a one-on-one with Miles. Like, I think Spider-Man, the old Spider-Man, needs to hang back for a bit. I need to focus on my career. I need to take a
he
break.
needs to be Peter Parker.
Yeah, he needs to be Peter. And Miles, it puts everything on Miles, but Miles is like, "Okay, I guess it's fully my turn now." And
But it's so
yeah,
much less that than it is. Because, like, the suit comes up, and MJ's like, "You haven't told him yet?" And he's like, I plan to. And Miles is so much less, "Well, I guess it's on me." And he's more like, "Man, be you. Focus on you. I've
yeah,
got this. I'm Spider Man. I'm still calling you for advice if I need it, though, right?" And like when I said I wanted to bring something back around earlier, I felt like the story, the major plot points again did feature more Peter than Miles, but that's because we were seeing the sunset of Peter's time as Spider-Man. We were seeing a sunset as Miles comes in as the sunrise to really becoming the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, like to take up that mantle full time. Like, I thought that was just such a cool way to handle, like, the different parts of growing up, of maturing.
now I don't think we'll not see Spider-Man be Spider-Man in uh in the upcoming stuff because of money, but I do think we'll probably see Miles take on the full frontal like Spider-Man role more than Peter. Um, and we get a nice scene where like uh, Miles's mom makes dinner for everyone, and then we get an interesting surprise on like who will be coming in next game, and
We did get a
everyone,
kiss scene.
yeah,
Sorry.
everyone would have got guessed Spider Gwen, but no, it's Cindy Moon, also known as Silk.
Yeah, I didn't know who Cindy Moon was until I, like, looked into her a little bit, and I'm like, oh my god!
Yeah, I've been seeing her pop up more and more, and she's getting kind of popular. So I'm kind of excited on this. Uh, Before I ask one last question, I do want to ask you this. Like, overall, I think the story of like losing a friend, but not in the you lost him to death, but you lost him because of bullshit, was a really good way to go for the main story. Because I think
Yeah.
that's one we all can relate to.
Hmm.
And we can all relate to like losing to someone to death because it's going to happen to you one way or another. You know, like
Yeah.
unless if you die first, the chances are you're going to experience the loss of death, which they already explored. But to lose someone in a different way, in a way that's like drama filled and misunderstandings and feelings are hurt. I'm
Yeah,
kind of glad that's what they focused on.
me too. There are so many different types of loss, and Spider-Man, while he's no, while he's no stranger to the loss of loved ones, friends, family to death, there's something so much more profound about losing someone who's still alive.
Yeah, definitely. And it really stings. But I'd say this like closed up a really good chapter. I do have some thoughts on like what I want to see next time. So New York is an interesting character and everything. Even outside of these three games, we see it almost everywhere for Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
I
that's because he's based in New York.
I
Oh,
I get that, but what I want to see for the next Spider-Man, actually for the next two Spider-Mans,
hmm
um, I think you need to take Spidey out of New York. There's a good philosophy of like, in order to love something, you need to miss it first. And if they just keep giving us New York over and over and over again, it's really hard to miss it. And it's really like makes you feel a bit bored with the setting. So you're like, well, where does Spidey go? I think there's one obvious answer. Spidey needs to go to Tokyo. I'm serious. I think the next Spider Man should take place in Tokyo.
why Tokyo?
Okay, so first off, like in real world, Tokyo kind of really likes Spider Man. They, they're one of the few. He's one of the few Western heroes that like really generates with the world. But they're like, oh yeah, it'd be awesome to see him. Like we've been seeing these Japanese studios, especially in video games, really take on Spider-Man lately, like took on Marvel Fighting Souls and whatnot. Like they're like, this is a cool character, and I think he would fit very well there. Um, there's a Spider Verse counterpart called Penny Parker that's also
I love
Japanese.
Penny.
Yeah, there's just a lot of vibing going on with like Japan and Spider-Man. And Tokyo itself is one of the coolest cities in the entire fucking world. And it's massive. It is easily a character unto itself. So giving him that environment, something that's like familiar yet totally different at the same time, is exactly what he needs. And I think what you do with the fourth game, this would be really cool. So obviously, there are other characters. We don't get to see them a whole lot, but like the hint of Doctor Strange, they have the Avengers Tower. What I think you do with the fourth game is you take Spidey to a new planet, like somewhere where the Guardians of the Galaxy is, and you have him go into a massive city in space. That would be fucking amazing. And it's a new environment that isn't based on real life, but one that I feel like the creators would get to have so much fun in. And by having those two games away from New York City, you'll also get to miss New York City. So you have like the fifth or sixth game, you're like, okay, it's finally time for Spidey to come back to New York, and you would have to have missed it by then, and you would welcome New York with open embrace, be like, those romps were really fun. It's nice to have him back where he belongs.
True. Um, I don't. I. It'd be cool if we left New York. I really don't think we're going to. Um, but There was some we were talking. There was something I was going to bring up, and I totally forgot.
Yeah, do you have any like final thoughts on Spider-Man 2 as a whole or any of the plot points?
Um, not much, not so much a plot point, but I did not care for a lot of the suits. There were a lot of them that looked really stupid. I'm sorry.
I think there are a lot that are stupid, and there's a lot of suits that are really cool. Uh,
Oh,
I really like the Kuma suit, which is like Japanese themed.
oh yeah, that was
That
a
one
cool
was
one.
uh, the a lot of the I can't take them by name, but there was a black and green and white suit that I really liked. I really enjoyed that one. Um, there's some really goofy suits like uh, uh, like there's a movie suit where he has hardly it's all homemade and it looks like the cheapest ass cosplay you've
I
ever seen.
know.
These are really great. So
Oh. There is one thing I wanted to bring up.
yeah,
I think Spider-Man 3 or 4, maybe it'd be awesome if it was Spider-Man 4. We might actually see the Fantastic Four at some point because there's a point where when you're hunting down all the little spider bots,
yeah.
you get one
Oh, we
and
never
it's
talked
on a
about the
building.
spider bots.
No, we didn't, and I'm a little sad on that, but we've also over 2 hours on this guy.
Yeah, we are.
But there is one of them is a Future Foundation spider bot. That's actually a Fantastic Four reference. And if you look on this on the roof of that building, there's like a partially painted four symbol. And a spoiler warning for those who haven't seen a whole lot of movies. Miles actually, or Peter Parker, Spider Man. I can't talk today, but I'm pretty sure it's Miles. Actually, joins the Fantastic Four as a replacement for the Human Torch after Johnny had died. Obviously,
Yeah,
he's not a one for one replacement of Human Torch because he's not fire based.
yeah.
But it'd be really cool to see them in a future video game.
So there's a lot of Easter eggs, and there's actually one not even referencing a Marvel property. Do you know what one I'm talking about?
Um,
It involves a famous firehouse.
Let me take a look. I don't think so. Not that I have noted of. What's that?
So they have the Ghostbusters firehouse in the video game.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, you can find it and you get a trophy for it.
Oh, I'll have to go back and look. Oh, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Oh,
I thought that was really cool.
yep. One of my favorite suits. Sorry to go back onto the suit thing because that was one of the last thoughts I wanted. There is a point where you can get the Into the Spider Verse suit from the movie for Miles Morales,
Yeah, and it
and
looks
if you
dope.
it looks dope, and if you put it on, Miles actually gets like his frame rates for
Yeah,
how he moves gets cut down to 30 because that's how he was animated in Into the Spider-Verse when he didn't know what was going on. Everyone was animated at 60 FPS. Miles was at 30 until he finally came into his own at the end.
yeah. It's a really cool add-on. Oh man.
Just so
So
many little things.
I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We could keep going on and on about like all the
We really
details,
could.
but
Just
2 hours and I gotta work. So, Krissy, you have a Fiverr account and you have been killing it with my shorts. You've been editing my shorts. Uh, you've been doing a great job. If
thank you.
people want to hire you for that, where can they find you?
Yeah, so I do have a Fiverr for where I offer video editing. I'm known as Chris, Kris. You can also at me at Raya underscore edits, Raeya edits, EDITS. I can't talk today.
I will put a link in the description of this video down below if you just want to look for it that way. As for myself, I am Jordan Vickers. You can find me at most podcast services as well as YouTube now, and I am on Patreon, where a $5 thank you tier will give you bonus episodes and a shout out to my one subscriber so far, and that is the good old friend of the Sage Temple, the Portland Kevin. He's always been awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin. You've been really helpful with helping me be a guest on my shows and everything. Can't thank you enough. And I plan on doing a bonus episode for the Patreon really, really soon. And in fact, I need to ask Krissy about that. So
Okay.
we will be back next month, and something is coming. I can't
Hopefully.
tell you what. Well, something else is coming. Something I haven't even told Krissy about.
Ooh, now I'm really excited.
But anyways, I can't wait to talk about that. We'll be back. Until next time, I hope you all have an awesome night, and goodbye.